New York has kind of come and gone in like an insane whirlwind of adventures. It's the morning of going to New York, and I have that feeling, you know, when like you're really excited and you wake up really, really early and you're like, oh my god, this is so exciting, and then you're like, oh, but I'm so tired, but you're like, no, I'm so excited, but then you're really, really tired all at the same time. It's one of those things. Here is a box of all of my wonderful medical equipment with the chargers and the tubing and the more equipment, and I'm trying not to mix up the order so mommy doesn't get mad at me. Ta-da! Uh-oh. Oh my gosh, mommy is a superhero. Like, you guys have no idea how much this weighs.
Oh my gosh.
It's amazing. I see it. I totally see it. So you'd think with how challenging it is to like get all the medical equipment and actually like travel with CF, you'd think that I wouldn't love traveling so much, but I do. I'm a sucker for it. I love airports. I love everything about them. I love being with Ellie. I love like the little gift stores and the little totally corporate bookstores and the overpriced Starbuckses. And is Starbucks is a word? Is Starbucks plural? I don't even know. And I love the grumpy security guards. And yeah, so even with all of the maintenance of traveling with an illness, it's still totally worth it. Yeah, so I'm Patty the teenage terrorist, but then because they always have to cut me down at airports because of this thing, because obviously it could be a bomb, and they don't let you film though, so that's interesting. We made it. We're in New York. I know! It's crazy. I mean, it doesn't feel any different yet, but it will. It'll hit me eventually. Okay, come on. Seriously though, what is not to love about the airport? So the flight was wonderful. We all slept on top of each other. I love flying with like my family. Like, I love flying alone, but I really love flying with my mom and my sister because they're both really crazy, just like me. And so we're total goofballs and probably annoyed everyone around us. But everything went smoothly. I'm afraid of taking off on airplanes, and Ellie's afraid of landing. And then mommy's just kind of neutral. So all together, we're a total shit show. So guess what? Our hotel room is on Times Square, you know, one of the buildings that are Times Square buildings. That's our hotel. And we're on the 30, what is it, Ellie?
38th floor.
We're on the 38th floor. It's insane. Check out this view. Look, that is the street down there. And those are little signs. Look at the little people. Oh, they're so small. It is crazy. It's insane. So we had to wake up at the butt crack of dawn to do treatments and then get coffee and get ready. But it was really awesome and really amazing experience. And then after that, what do we do? Oh yeah, we really spent the rest of the day just like ogling at buildings and cabs and more buildings. Oh, and by the way, I counted the cab to car ratio, and there's around, I would say, like 2 or 3 cabs for every 5 regular cars. It's crazy. And like, I didn't even realize that that was so accurate. Another thing that's amazing here in New York is that the leaves actually change color. Like, they don't do that in LA. There's maybe like one street that has pretty leaves. This is like everywhere. It's incredible. We also went to go check out MoMA, which was really cool, but then we couldn't actually go get an exhibit because the line was crazy long, so then we ended up just wandering around, and we found this really beautiful church that reminded me and Ellie of Hogwarts, so we obviously had to go in and check it out. It was insane. And then we got to go to cabaret in like the front row. I got to dance up on stage with Alan Cummings, and like go backstage and meet people. It was amazing. Like, just the acting in general was crazy. So the next day we pretty much just toured the city too. I mean, honestly, I didn't even want to do that many touristy things. I just kind of wanted to be here, you know? Like, just see all of the new stuff. That's what I find is so amazing about traveling. Even though, yes, it is an incredible pain in the ass. I am not gonna lie to you for 1 second. Traveling with an illness isn't easy. You know, I mean, from the fact that you have so much to keep track of, and it's not like if you lose it, if you lose any of your stuff, it's not like, you know, losing a pair of underwear or a bra. It's like you could die. And I don't say that to be melodramatic, but it's true. And so traveling is incredibly challenging when you have an illness. Okay, so we are currently in a Whole Foods because as we're walking, my blood sugar dropped. So this is the thing, another thing of the multiple things about having CF is your pancreas is all messed up. So sometimes, out of the blue, you'll just be walking and your blood sugar will drop. It's great. But you know what's interesting about it is that a lot of the time it kind of leads us in directions we never would have guessed to go that are kind of awesome. Like this shopping center is really amazing. I know that seems silly of me, but it's like everything's glass and there's crazy high ceilings and the Whole Foods is massive. I mean, it's just cool. It's like sometimes CF kind of the problems with CF kind of make us do things we wouldn't do otherwise. It was really cool actually getting to just be in a hotel room with my mom and my sister because we all get along really well. We all have the same sense of humor. And even though you'd think because we all live together, we hang out a lot, but really we all have our own crazy lives. Like my mom with the foundation and then my sister with her school because she's like a little brainiac, and then me with all of my stuff that I do. So it was cool. We just kind of actually got to chill and it was sweet. So then yesterday we went to Central Park, which was gorgeous, and my sister begged to do the carriage ride, and I was kind of resistant because like I didn't want to be that tourist that did the carriage ride around Central Park, but then it ended up being really, really cool because I was so tired because I'd been like walking around all day, so I just got to sit there and stare at everything. And Central Park, of course, was beautiful. I think what was so cool though about Central Park was the people there, you know, just the people everywhere here. It's like, I don't know, people are the same really in their core, but yet vary from culture to culture and city to city, and it's really cool to see. We got to take the subway a couple times, which I feel like would be so easy.
The next stop will be 59th Street, Columbus Circle. Stand clear to closing doors.
Like I live in LA where like taking the bus is so confusing and everything is so spread out, you can't walk anywhere, and here it's like you really kind of get anywhere you want without a car. That's awesome. I had like this paranoid moment because everyone always drills into my head about being freaked out about germs. So I was like standing there holding onto the pole. I'm like, this pole probably has so many germs. I'm probably gonna die from this. This is probably gonna be the death of me. I'm gonna get like some flu and it's gonna kill me because I have absolutely zero tolerance for colds and bacteria. And then I was like, yeah, that's worth it. We could die like at any moment. There's this one author that I really loved, named Rilke, in his Letters to a Young Poet book. He talks about traveling to Rome, and you know, it wasn't necessarily like the most beautiful place he's ever been, but he was saying there's beauty everywhere. Sure, there are some places that we deem as more beautiful and more wonderful and spectacular than other places, but pretty much everywhere is incredible in its own way. Even like the most mundane and silly places, you know, like the supermarket and you know, and train station have their own unique form of beauty because they have history, because they were created by people. There was art that went into it, there was thought, and in that it's beautiful. And the same with nature. I mean, pretty much every aspect of nature is beautiful, even if it's not what we deem as being the pretty part of it. And that's kind of how I feel here in New York. Like there's just so much to see. There's so many little aspects of beauty and wonder everywhere, and it's just all new. Like that's what I love about traveling. Even though it's a pain in the butt, everything is new. And everything that you see is something you haven't seen before. just kind of have to realize, like, I've never seen that tree before. I see a building and I'm like, I've never once looked at that building before in my entire life. And now I am, and that's pretty cool. You know, and all the people and the clouds and just everything. It's just so unique in a weird way, and yet similar to everywhere else. And so, I don't know. I love it. I love traveling. I don't know if I'll ever get tired of it, and I love airports. Gosh,